So this weekend, Hurricane Hilary happened. So as you've probably read in the news or somewhere, this hurricane kind of tracked the coast of California, which is very unusual for this part of the country. Here in the desert in Las Vegas, we got all of the arms from that hurricane. So as it spun counterclockwise, we had ribbons of storm clouds flying off of the hurricane and just slapping into the city. So we did get quite a bit of rain. This is concerning for the desert because there's no place for all that rain to go. The ground here is very dense and it doesn't absorb like it does in other places. So if we get some of those microburst storm cells, all that rain just comes down and floods everything very quickly, and it can be deadly. For Mark and I, this meant that we just buckled down, stayed indoors, and didn't go anyplace for the entire weekend. All this kicked off on Friday when I woke up to very, very loud thunder.
Oh, okay, it's here. Ah.
Wow, that's nice. Here we go.
Mark made a big pot of chili for us to consume throughout the weekend and sustain us while we were hiding. And that night, on Friday, my friend Matt came over and we watched one of the most unreal sunsets I've seen in quite a long time. The sun kind of dipped below the cloud layer, and just before it went below the mountains and set, there was this incredibly intense golden hour where the light was like solid yellow. So we stood out in the yard in our rain slickers and enjoyed the crap out of that before it got dark. From that point on, it's been misty and gloomy and damp. But to kick off that weekend, we decided to watch the movie The Lighthouse. I highly recommend it. It's a Lovecraftian sea horror. It was a very stormy movie with piratey notes and madness notes and being cooped up like elements, which all kind of mirrored what we were experiencing or were about to experience for the past couple of days weathering this hurricane.
No! No! I want a steak! I want a goddamn steak! If I had a steak, oh boy, a rare, a bloody steak. If I had a steak, I would fuck it.
So it kind of set the theme or the tone of the entire weekend.
You're fond of me lobster, ain't you? Drunker than a Virginia fin. I seen it. You're fond of me lobster.
I spent the majority of the day yesterday standing in the yard watching the clouds because we had some amazing weather. Luckily for us, the hurricane, once it made landfall, kind of split the difference between Los Angeles and Las Vegas, so neither city really got any big, intense flooding. So I'm grateful for that. We did, however, continue to get those ribbons of storms throughout the weekend, so I could stand in the yard and actually watch these big chunks of clouds whip by. I guess the wind speeds were still pretty fast above. I got a particular bug up my butt yesterday and built a fort, and I just kind of sat there and listened to the thunder, and it was therapeutic. I feel like I enjoyed that way more than I ought to have. And then, given the whole Lovecraftian, like, sea madness vibe, I bought the game Dredge for Switch and started playing that just last night. Dredge is awesome. If you've ever played the Zelda game Wind Waker that came out for GameCube a while ago, it definitely has notes of that game where you're exploring a world that's mostly ocean, and you can check out the islands that you find. You play as a sailor, or a boat, rather, and your primary business is to fish. So you spend the days in this world fishing, and then at some point it grows dark and becomes night. And at night, that's when your sea madness kicks in, and a bunch of spooky stuff happens. That's very Lovecraftian in nature, and makes the game kind of suspenseful, unpredictable, and exciting. But when you're fishing during the day, the game is just incredibly relaxing and scenic. If you fancy sea madness, I reckon ye check out the game. It's cool.
My feet.
As of now, here in Vegas, we seem to be in the clear. I have some other cool projects that I am going to start this week once the materials come in the mail. Once they do, I will let you know what they are. But until then, keep making awesome stuff out there, and thank you for watching. But I know ye fancy me lobster.